Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Random. Today we are looking at the Cadisen Day-Date Meteorite. Now, before we get into the video, I have launched my watch strap brand, Chase Straps. The link is down in the description below. ChaseStraps.com. Now today we're talking about the Cadisen Day-Date, specifically the Meteorite dial. Now, is this really a Meteorite dial? Well, we'll get into it in the actual overview of the watch itself. Now, honestly, this watch comes in at like $120 on AliExpress. Again, I'll leave a link down in the description below. And honestly, it's one of those things where it's like you either love it or you hate it. Now, Cadisen has a lot of different variants when it comes to watches, so you do have a lot of different varieties, a lot of different options if you don't like this specific dial. Now, I'm going to spoil it for you now. Is it an actual Meteorite dial? No, it is not. It is like a Meteorite style dial. Anyway, all that being said, let's just flip the camera around and dive right into the review. Okay, and here it is, the Cadisen Day-Date, specifically the Meteorite style dial. You can see that the dial does have some texture, and we're going to stay on the dial in the beginning of this review. The dial itself does have Roman numerals applied indices around the entire outside. It actually looks really nice. I'm not a big fan of the Roman numerals, but actually it works really well with this Meteorite style dial because it has like sort of a beige finish. Honestly, I think that the Roman numerals look quite nice. Even if it was just standard baton indices, I think that would look nice too. But I think the Roman numeral would just give it like a higher bit of class, I guess, on this. Now again, sticking with the dial, you can see that the movement in this is a day-date style. And you can see that the day of the week is just under the 12 and the date of the month is at the 3 o'clock. Now the Cyclops on this, now this is a sapphire glass, a piece of sapphire crystal on top of this, and it does have a Cyclops right there over the date. However, it sort of has, I would say, 1.5 to 2 times. It's not quite 2.5 times like on a Rolex. It does do the job to sort of, you know, magnify that date. However, I think they could have done just slightly better at maybe 2.5 times magnification. Again, I think this is more like 1.5. I mean, it's okay. It gives the perception. However, I would rather just have no Cyclops if they're not going to do at least 2.5. Really, that 2.5 just brings it right out. And I think that it's sort of lackluster. Now, it does have a logo applied just underneath that day of the week, and then Cadisen printed just underneath that. Honestly, I think that when you look at close-up shots of the dial, I think they did a pretty good job. The quality control on this watch is spot on. Now again, this Meteorite style dial watch is only $120 on AliExpress. So honestly, I think that they hit the nail right on the head when it came to the price of this. Now you can see the second hand here is ticking at 21,600 beats an hour. So it's not a high beat movement, but it is a very robust movement. Inside is a Miyota 8285, and it does have a 42-hour power reserve. Now, the one thing that I don't understand about watches like this is the fact that they leave an open case back when it is undecorated. Now, honestly, it doesn't take hardly anything to add at least a decorated rotor, but they didn't even add a decorated rotor. So for me, again, talking about lackluster, I know an automatic watch is pretty awesome, but if you're not even gonna decorate the rotor or make it look nice at all, just leave a solid case back like the Rolex Submariners. Honestly, I think that it just would be better off for the watch itself. Now the case is a 316L stainless steel. It is high polish and it is very soft to the touch. It's very nice. The edges are also very nice. It does have a stainless steel fluted bezel. Really plays in the light. Really love fluted bezels on these style watches. Now the sizing of this watch is a little deceiving because on the website it says this is a 40 millimeter. However, this is a 42 millimeter. It says this is 12 millimeters thick. It's actually 13.5 millimeters thick, and it says this bracelet is, the lug width is 20. It is really 22. So keep that stuff in mind when it comes to ordering aftermarket straps. Now, I was going to put a chase strap on this watch to sort of show you guys, what this would look like on maybe a vintage suede gray leather strap, but the gray suede leather strap I have is 20 millimeters, so it's just not going to fit on this watch. Sort of depressing, but keep that stuff in mind. Other than that, I think the watch looks pretty good. It is on a presidential style bracelet. It's 3-link, very small links, high polish on the center, brushed on the outside. It does use push pins right here, not really a big deal. Because these are very small links, it's going to be really easy to get it, adjusted to your size wrist, especially when you're dealing with something like a butterfly clasp like this. No micro adjustments. The only micro adjustments you're going to get is on the links right here, so make sure that you guys size it to your wrist appropriately. Now, this thing does have a quite wide girth, and I say that because there are quite a few links. I'm going to have to remove at least probably 4 to 5 links to even get it to fit my 7.25-inch wrist. All that being said, overall, I think the watch is relatively nice. For what it is, it does have a screw down crown, so this offers 100 meters of water resistance. Pull it out once, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate it, and you can see that the date changes right there at the 3. Turn it to the top, and you can see that the day of the week also changes. Pull it out again, you can see it does have hacking. It also has hand winding. Go ahead and rotate this around so you can see how the date actually changes when it reaches the 12 o'clock position. At the 11:10, you can see that it's starting to sort of go over. The date of the month switches over first, then the day of the week as it rounds the 1 o'clock in the morning or the 1 a.m., right? It starts to slowly tick over halfway, and then as about another hour and a half passes, it clicks over again. All this would happen in the middle of the night. You wouldn't even notice it. Honestly, I think the functionality of this watch is pretty solid. Love the fact that it does have a screw down crown and offers 100 meters of water resistance. Now, this watch doesn't have any lume, so this is not going to be, there's not going to be a lume shot in this, so it kind of sucks, but it sort of is what it is. This is a dressier style watch, and honestly, if you are able to find a strap that fits this, a 22 millimeter strap, which is not as popular as a 20 millimeter strap, but 22, you can find a lot of wide range of straps, then honestly, then you can dress this down just as easily as it dresses up. Now, this can be worn with a suit quite nicely, but if you change this bracelet to a vintage leather strap, you can dress it down and wear it with shorts and a t-shirt. Honestly, these style watches, one of the things that I really love about the actual date just, not the day date necessarily, but the date just is, especially the vintage ones, you can dress them up and dress them down and they look great at any time. I think Cadisen did a really good job when it came to designing this watch. I just wish they'd be a little more honest when it comes to their advertising. It says Meteorite, right? It should be Meteorite style. If this is a linen dial and it's actually a linen dial, then it should be, advertised as a linen dial. If it is a linen print dial, then it should be a linen print dial, not a linen dial. So those are just some of the things you're going to come across when you buy something on AliExpress or, a Chinese watch or whatever else, something more affordable. However, I think they could have advertised it slightly better. They really don't tell you that it's not a Meteorite dial, but of course you would know because a Meteorite dial, I think the cheapest Meteorite dial watch is like $800. So, honestly, it does look cool. It does have a pretty cool pattern to it, and every Meteorite dial should be unique. Don't know if these are necessarily unique because it's, a Meteorite style. Maybe they're all the same. I haven't had 2 of these watches next to each other to, see if they are. Other than that, $120. I think that it's hard to find a better deal than that for this style watch. Now, what do you guys think about the watch? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave a comment down below. Love to see your comments. I respond to nearly every single one, even the negative ones. I am a very big fan of sarcasm, and I will probably respond in jest. Now, once again, launched chase straps just a couple days ago. Go explore the website. Let me know what you guys think about the straps. Honestly, your opinion means a lot to me. And tell me, even in the description of my videos, what type of straps you think I should add to the lineup. Now, this is just beginning. The inventory is limited, and honestly, I think they're extremely affordable. Now, I am going to be doing a video going over the entire lineup of products that I have on chasestraps.com. So make sure you guys are doing 3 things that I always mention at the end of every video. 1, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment of the content you guys would love to see on this channel, because I have a lot of content coming up in the future. And make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop all these videos. Until next time.